Oh yeah, Diddy got a podcast. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. All right, so the last thing I want you to do for me is for those who's going to listen to this episode, for those who are going to take heed to a lot of the things that you're saying, and maybe you inspire some people to go look into home buyer ownership and things like that. What advice, Jordan, do you have for anybody out there, primarily African Americans, but anybody who isn't well versed on what it's like to buy a home and getting loans and you know who may think that it's better to rent?
Yeah. Nah.
What advice do you have for them?
Don't be scared to walk in that bank and ask a question. Don't be scared. I mean, um, that's pretty much it, man. I feel like we can answer a lot of questions that a lot of people don't know. But don't be scared to walk in that bank. Don't be scared to give that person a call, because if you're thinking it, you know what I'm saying, it's just gonna stay on your mental. So at least just get that question. It costs $0 to answer a question. You know what I'm saying? But the fact is, are you going to implement that? You know what I'm saying? Then that asking the question is the first thing, but actually going forward with it and taking that advice that's given, that's the next step. That's the biggest step. So definitely just go in, ask a question, and do research. Even if you don't know what to look up, man, just like start with something like, what is buying a home? What is financing? What is a mortgage? Some people don't even know what a mortgage is. I'm not even gonna lie, man. Before I even had this job, before I even worked at the bank, when I was still in high school, I didn't know what a mortgage was.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I know that there's people out there that don't know. And no question is a dumb question. So just get out there and ask, man.
And if someone was walk up to you and ask you what a mortgage is, like right now, break down what's the difference. If someone would say, what's the difference between mortgage and just paying rent?
Yeah, difference between a mortgage and paying rent. You're definitely gonna have like other things encumbered, but you're gonna have an interest rate. Whether it's rent, you're just gonna have a flat out rate, like just a flat.
The same
base.
amount,
Yeah.
right?
But the interest rate isn't going to change, but your mortgage might change if you get PMI dropped off, or if your homeowner's insurance goes up, or your property taxes goes up, or whatever. That might change, but the definite I say advantage of mortgage rather than renting is your equity that we talked about earlier.
That's the upside. To having a mortgage over just paying rent.
Because your rent, you're just paying it, and you'll
nothing's
never see that money again. But you're putting money into your home, and then you can take that money back out. Once you reach so much, much, you can take that money right back out. Exactly. And people don't even know that. Even if they're buying their house now, they're like, I can take the equity out. I'm like, yeah, you can take your equity out. You probably got.
And would it hurt them? Does it taking
it
just equity
basically
out?
Takes another loan out. Like you're just basically resetting the loan. You pay that off 30 years. I mean, it's good to like know that stuff, because you can be in debt. You can have student loans, whatever. You can take that equity out, pay all that stuff off, and then they'll give you like a reset, like breathing room. People do it to. Like all during COVID, we were doing a lot of cash out refinances.
Yep.
And that's basically where they take the cash out, equity, and people were remodeling their homes.
Wow.
So you can do it for that reason, pay off debt. And those are the primary two reasons where people do it, is to pay off debt or reconstruct their home and like update it and stuff like that. But people don't know that,
That's dope, because I know where I come from. We see somebody or hear somebody owning a home or buying a home, regardless of what that home look like, Jordan. Oh man, they must be rich. Like, oh man, like how are they able to do that? They must be special. And it's like, no, you can do it too. Yeah. Just educate yourself. Sure. And not only can you do it, but you can teach your friend to do it, cousin to do it, your mom to do it. Think about that. Educating your mom or your dad. Yeah. And where I come from, that would be a very popular thing if people educated themselves. They could literally educate their mom and their dad on how to buy a home. Like that's like generational. Like that just changes things big time. You know what I mean? It
breaks that curse, and you feel like you can teach your son's son, everybody after that. I just got to put you in the home. You know what I'm saying? And then after that, the confidence. It's a confidence booster. Right. You know what I'm saying? They feel valuable, because literally they are more valuable. Like your assets just went up in a month. You know what I'm saying?
Crazy.
Like your asset, like literally how much that house is worth. You own that home. I mean, not technically, but you have ownership in the home, so your assets are going up.
When you say, just before we end this, when you say you own it, but not technically. For those who are going to be confused by that, what do you mean? I know what you mean, but break that down for them.
The bank still owns it, so you're basically in a tie with the bank. So basically, you sign a promissory note, or I promise to make my mortgage payments until I complete the full loan amount. So that's one of the things that you sign at closing, and basically you don't own the home until your balance is $0 with the bank. So that's
dope, man.